The Rambam for today, for the 13th of Iyar, for one chapter a day, is Perek Teshi'i, Hilchot Ma'achalat Asurot, chapter 9 of the Laws of Forbidden Food. In this chapter, the Rambam talks about the prohibition against eating milk and meat. And as we know, the prohibition is threefold, because there's 3 verses in the Torah that tell us about it. And that means we cannot eat milk and meat cooked together. We cannot cook it together, even if we don't eat it. And we can't even have benefit off of it. And these prohibitions are very strict, and it's one of the few times in the Torah we find that not only may you not eat something, but you can have no benefit off of it at all. If you have such, you must burn it and completely destroy it, and not benefit off of it in any way. The commentaries in the Chumash, in Parshas Mishpatim, that discuss this mitzvah, they give various explanations. The Rambam says that it's a great insensitivity to cook milk and meat together. Why? Because the Torah tells us not to cook a kid, a baby goat, in its mother's milk, because that shows a great insensitivity. Moreover, in Kabbalah, it explains that milk is chesed, and we know that because milk is white, which is the color of chesed, and meat is usually red, which is the color of gevura. Also, milk symbolizes giving, and meat symbolizes taking, because you need to take a life in order to eat meat, and milk is always giving. So we don't want to mix chesed and gevura unnecessarily. The Bachya writes that when Mashiach comes, we will be able to mix milk and meat. Why? Because the concept of chesed and gevura will be able to be mixed. In today's days, in the time of Galus, we keep everything separate because chesed has its place in the world and gevura has its place. And to mix them together will be counterproductive. But when Mashiach comes, everything will be at peace and will be in such a peaceful way, the Rebbe explains, that not only will we be allowed to mix milk and meat, but we'll actually be able to benefit off of it and eat it together and have no problem mixing chesed and gevura together. Because chesed and gevura, as they are today, are 2 separate energies and 2 separate entities that must be kept separate. But in the Messianic era, when the spirit of impurity will leave the earth, then there'll be absolutely no problem to have milk and meat together, to have chesed and gevura together, because they will be completely at peace with each other. May it be speedily in our days.